Has someone ever said something mild to you at dinner and suddenly your chest tightened, your face flushed, and you spent the next 3 hours arguing with them in your head? Maybe a younger coworker questioned your method on a project you have managed for 10 years. Maybe your adult child dismissed your advice with a single roll of their eyes. Or maybe a driver made an improper lane change and yelled at you in a parking lot. You tell yourself they were rude, disrespectful, or out of line. You replay the conversation 10 times before falling asleep, crafting the perfect comeback you wish you had said. Most people call this reaction setting boundaries or standing up for themselves. They believe their anger proves they were right and the other person was wrong. The truth is, your sudden anger has very little to do with what the other person actually said. What triggered you was a fragile layer of your own mind reacting to a perceived attack. The scariest part is that many people never outgrow this. They carry this extreme emotional sensitivity into their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. On the surface, they appear mature, experienced, and composed. But on the inside, a small, guarded part of them feels constantly threatened by anyone who disagrees with them. Welcome back to Wiser You. Today, we examine the psychology of the ego and why so many of us take things personally. Before we start, let us be clear, this video will not flatter you. It will expose uncomfortable truths about your daily reactions. If you can stay calm enough to listen until the end, you will gain actual control over your emotional state. So what is this fragile mechanism inside your mind, and why does a simple comment feel like a physical blow? Let us start by dissecting its psychology. Austrian psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud defined the ego as the executive part of your mind that tries to balance your internal desires with the demands of the real world. Decades later, psychoanalyst Heinz Kohut introduced a concept known as narcissistic injury. A narcissistic injury occurs when an external event or comment threatens the idealized image you have constructed of yourself. When you reach your 40s or 50s, you have spent decades building a specific identity. You view yourself as a capable professional, a wise parent, a reliable friend, or a knowledgeable leader. You invest years of effort into maintaining this self-image. When someone questions your judgment, ignores your input, or speaks to you without deference, your brain does not process it as a harmless difference of opinion. Your brain interprets it as an attempt to destroy your identity. Your fight or flight system activates instantly. Your heart rate increases by 15 to 20 beats per minute. Your muscles tense up. Your brain prepares to defend its territory. You choose anger because anger feels powerful. Anger protects you from feeling small, weak, or mistaken. You attack the other person to cover up the sudden sting of self-doubt. You stay offended because dropping your guard feels like admitting defeat. Understanding this physical reflex is only the first step. Why does this defense mechanism fire so easily during everyday interactions? And what are the 3 specific traps that keep your ego on constant high alert? Let us examine the 3 psychological traps that force you to take things personally. Trap 1 is identity over-identification. Over 4 or 5 decades of life, you accumulate titles, roles, and status. You become a senior manager, a homeowner, an experienced technician, or the head of a household. The trap occurs when you mistake your role for your actual self. If a younger colleague suggests a faster way to complete a task, your ego reads it as a statement that you are outdated. If your spouse critiques your driving, your ego reads it as a claim that you are incompetent. You react with harshness because you are defending your entire worth, not just a single action. You operate under the belief that admitting a mistake destroys your value as a person. Trap 2 is psychological projection. Psychoanalysts established long ago that the traits you dislike most in yourself are the exact traits that offend you when you see them in others. If you secretly worry that you have wasted time in your career, you will become furious when a relative mentions retirement planning. If you feel guilty about your own physical health, an innocent comment about exercise from a friend sounds like a deliberate attack. The other person's words act as a mirror. The anger you feel toward them is actually your own suppressed self-judgment coming to the surface. You blame them for making you feel uncomfortable, when they simply pointed at an existing vulnerability. Trap 3 is the demand for external validation. When you depend on other people to confirm your intelligence, your success, or your authority, you hand them complete power over your daily mood. If a neighbor passes you without saying hello, you spend 30 minutes wondering what you did wrong. If a supervisor does not compliment your report, you assume they do not value your labor. You operate like a bank account that needs daily deposits from external sources to remain solvent. Because you rely on outside approval, any neutral or critical comment feels like theft. Now, you recognize these 3 traps in your daily life, but knowing why you get offended does not automatically stop the emotional surge when someone insults you tomorrow morning. So, how do you train your mind to remain calm, neutral, and unbothered when faced with disrespect or criticism? There are 4 practical steps you can implement today to build emotional stability. Step 1. Practice the 10-second separation rule. When someone says something that triggers a sharp internal reaction, do not respond immediately. Count to 10. Use those 10 seconds to separate the physical statement from your personal worth. Tell yourself silently, their opinion is data about their perspective, not a fact about my identity. When you delay your reaction, you give your prefrontal cortex time to take control back from your emotional brain. You move from an automatic emotional reaction to a deliberate choice. Step 2. Evaluate the source with cold objectivity. Ask yourself 2 simple questions. Is this person an expert on the topic? Do they genuinely care about my well-being? If the answer to both questions is no, their opinion has 0 practical value in your life. If a stranger leaves a negative comment online or a difficult acquaintance criticizes your life choices, their assessment carries no real weight. If the answer to both questions is yes, then their critique is useful information that can help you improve, not an attack to defend against. Step 3. Conduct a radical self-inventory. Write down the top 3 things that make you lose your temper most quickly. Is it being interrupted? Is it being told you are wrong? Is it feeling ignored? Once you identify these specific vulnerabilities, you remove their power over you. When someone hits one of those spots in the future, you can recognize it instantly. You can say to yourself, my ego wants to react because I dislike feeling ignored, but I do not need to perform for this person. Step 4. Build an internal standard of value. Children and teenagers rely on external feedback to know who they are. An adult in their 40s, 50s, or 60s must build a firm internal standard. You must evaluate your own performance, your own moral conduct, and your own progress based on objective facts, not public applause. When you know your own strengths and accept your own limitations, another person's words cannot alter your self-worth. An insult cannot make you smaller, and a compliment cannot make you larger. You remain stable regardless of external noise. Changing your mental habits after 40 or 50 years takes consistent practice. You will still feel that quick surge of annoyance from time to time. The difference is that you will no longer let that surge control your speech, your decisions, or your peace of mind. As the philosopher Epictetus wrote over 2,000 years ago, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Stop giving away your internal peace to anyone who throws a careless comment in your direction. Take back control of your mind, accept reality as it is, and build an unshakable identity. If this discussion helped you understand your own mind better today, hit the like button and subscribe to Wiser You. Share this video with a friend or family member who might benefit from this perspective. Thank you for spending your time with Wiser You today. We will see you in the next video.